session is on impact on internationalization of higher education. That will be given by Professor Dr. R.K. Singh, sir. He is a Vice-Chancellor at ICFI University, Dehradun. We welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Santosh Rane and Professor Parvinder Singh and Professor Raman Jha, Professor Chhatar Singh, Professor Saili Gankar, Professor Sri Hari, Professor Naresh, and with this all this presentation, we now have a quite good amount of idea in the national perspective at the COVID-19. In my presentation, there will be little paradigm shift from national perspective to international perspective. So here, in next 20 minutes or so, the time which I have been given, I shall focus on the international perspective and higher education and the impact of COVID-19, which we faced in past 20 years or so, past 2 years or so. And many points has been covered with our previous distinguished speakers. So many policies issues and they have discussed and come up for the suggestion point of view. And now if I'm going to talk on internationalization, so internationalization has a good place in our NEP 2020. If we see our National Education and Policy 2020, the internationalization is going to play the major role. And there are two basic aspects behind this. If I say the internationalization of education, this means our students, our bright students, ambitious students, they go abroad, mostly in English-speaking countries such as USA, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, and so many other English-speaking and some non-English-speaking country in Europe like Germany, France, etc., where there is a United Nations languages, and they are getting the benefit of higher education. And most of the time, they are also getting lucrative jobs there. Some of them, they are also settling and becoming the citizen of different countries. So it is benefiting the country in a many aspects. Reason being, they are serving the global society. We as an Indian, when we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, this means this globe is one family. So the people work in XYZ countries and they contribute so much of foreign revenue to the nation as a whole. For example, myself, in my 30 years of career, 15 years I worked in the different universities around the globe in different countries. And 15 years I worked in India. So I just kept a balance of 50-50%. So globalization is equally important in that aspect. And during COVID time, our international education has impacted. Reason being, these students take so many exams before they go to the foreign countries to get the attractive scholarships, because the cost of education in top US, top American universities and top other global universities are very high. So if they get good kind of scholarship, they are able to support their education, and ultimately they are getting the job which are top jobs in the global market. So the GRE exams, SAT exam, TOEFL exams, IELTS, GMAT, all these exams which are prerequisite to become a student in top global universities has been impacted during this COVID times. Visa policies and the travel policies and so many other things impacted. So there was a net impact in terms of the inflow of the students from India to other part of the globe. At the same time, India is also looking to be a knowledge-based economy in the times to come. If I say the global and internationalization, that doesn't mean only our students should go and study in foreign countries. Rather than students from foreign countries, they should also come and study in India. So if some of you who has attended the IDSIL conference in India Hapted Center, which has happened in past COVID situations. So ITSIL is a public sector organization linked with the Ministry of Higher Education, which look after the internationalization of Indian education. So there are 150 countries from where in future students will come and study in India. Because India has so many advantages, at the same time, we are also aiming to become a knowledge-based economy. So if we see our past, say 1947, pre-1947, and if we see post-1947, and the different type of globalization which took place, pre-1947, we were under the English, we were under the Mughal. So that was the time when India was not able to take the place when the actual globalization and the industrialization took place. But post 1947, if we see, especially the IT era, the India did very good in the field of IT sectors. Now we have a global standing in the software and the IT sectors. Most of the top jobs are in Indians, whether it is a research in NASA or it is working with the top companies in the various countries. So India did quite well in the IT era. And same thing, we are expecting the next major paradigm shift which is going to come in the world is in the education. America has become a knowledge-based economy, and we are also aiming to become a knowledge-based economy in the times to come. Reason being, our cost of education is very much effective, very much affordable. At the same time, our quality of education is also very high. Maybe NEP 2020, which has come, it may be new for India, but it is not new for the rest of the globe. For example, many policies are the standard practices which we are going to implement today is already implemented 60, 70 years before in USA. I can say this thing very confidently because I had been in the education system where this kind of the practices has been followed. All the degrees had been from BITS Pilani, and Birlaji in 1960, when he set up BITS Pilani educational system, then he collaborated with the MIT USA. And the professor from MIT USA used to come to take classes in the BITS Pilani campus. So whole of the education, best education practices which came to BITS Pilani came from the MIT USA, which was the top institution in the world at that point of time. Even today also it is top. So all the best practices which need to happen in education is being implemented in BITS Pilani course curriculum. Whether it is related with the academic flexibility, whether it is related with the credit transfer, whether it is related with the practice school concept, industry and academic linkages. Even our IIT system are not able to understand the meaning of practice school and industry and academic linkages. If our education is going to be a best education, it should impart the holistic personality to the students, because when we prepare a student for industry ready, we look for the knowledge, we look for the cognitive skills, we look for the communication skills, we look for the psychomotor parameters, and all these concepts are based on the Bloom taxonomy by which the educational systems are set up. Whether it is a BTech degree, whether it is a master degree, whether it is a PhD degree, if a person is groomed, he need to be a holistic person. For example, human being is not a robot. He should not be trained as a robot. He should be trained as a holistic person who can cater the need of the society as a researcher, as a professor, as a professional, as a family man. So all these kind of the educational parameters should come in the personality of a human being when he is getting a comprehensive education, a holistic education. That is the requirement for the today's world. And the COVID has taught us so many things, and many positive aspect has come up. If you see the India, it's a cost of digital data, maybe the cheapest in the world. 1 GB data, which we hardly spend 10 paisa, it costs around $10 in the USA. So if this kind of the technology is available in India, then why we should not make use of this? This technology is not only for the entertainment. This technology is also meant for the research. This technology is also meant for the education. And this data has become cheaper because India is capable of putting so much of satellite in the space to fetch this data to serve the need of the country and society, and also help to the other countries in the world. So this kind of the technology which has come up with lot of hard work, with lot of funds of the country, it should be utilized for well-being of the education, for well-being of the society, for well-being of the people. So like that, so many positive things has emerged during the COVID situation time, and this is going to help the education in the times to come. So many things need to happen in the blended mode, and the concept of the smart classroom should be encouraged. No doubt, lot many things happen only in the offline classroom environment. For example, lot of the laboratory activities suffered where student cannot attend the physical classes and conduct the experiments. But so many things has helped, because so many problems we sorted out sitting on our laptops, doing the Zoom meeting, doing the other kind of the meetings, and saving too much of funds in travels, reaching physically, attending the meetings, and so many things. So this COVID has made us to learn that we can do so many good things in sitting in the smart classroom and other things. If it is the satellite data is a concern, it is not different for the city or the rural area, because the same satellite is serving both the places. There are not two different satellites which are put in the space to serve the rural or city, but same satellite is catering the need of other things, and the same service provider, whether it is Airtel, whether it is various other kind, are available for both the places. And similar kind of the smartphone is available in the rural as well as city areas, and people are using it. So we should not, no doubt there may be some constraint, but we should not take the excuse of not using the technologies. The technology has served us in many ways. Lot many things where we were standing for the queue in hours and hours, that time is saved. Standing in banks or standing in ATMs and so many things. So this digital era has saved our time in standing in queues for hours and hours to get done the small jobs. So the COVID has helped us so many things in positively. So we should take it positive. And this kind of the things, if we see, the history is not new. So many other virus kind of things, breakthrough has happened in the past also, and it got dissipated in due course of the time. And in due course of the time, people will forget, and the world will move again with the common pace and common things. So maybe it may be the God will, and God has gave us the lesson to learn from it and manage the life, and more and more advantage and disadvantage will come in the times to come. So these are the points which I thought of to share. So India has as we have performed very good in IT sectors in the last industrial revolution. Next challenge is going to be the internationalization and imparting the education to the globe as a whole, for India to become as a knowledge-based economy. I am very confident that we are going to do very as good as we did in the IT sector. So thank you, FELA, for giving this opportunity to me to speak as a Vice Chancellor of FELA University, Dehradun. And 3 points which I wish to suggest, but there can be more than 3. There may be 100 sub points while we are going to internationalize our education. For example, when we are going to call the foreigners come and study in India, so we need to respect their culture. We need to respect their food habits. We need to respect their lifestyle, and we need to accommodate in our working environment. So this kind of the mindset we have to change, and it is easy for us because we are a very liberal country. We are a democratic society, rather the biggest democracy in the world. We are very accommodative people. So all the campuses who are going to host the foreign students, they have to respect these aspects while we are going to host. Maybe in the times to come, maybe we have to develop little extra infrastructure for that, but it will help, it will pay to us. So first thing is understanding all these aspects for those countries who we are going to host as a student. Sometimes we may not like to eat the non-vegetarian food, but for their physical need, we have to also offer, and rather we need to have in our message which we are going to have, we can have both the veg and non-veg sections. This is one thing. Other thing is not a challenge. We are as good as English-speaking countries. So our education is as good as any other English-speaking country's education. For example, if I say the Germany, France, Japan, so they have the constant of language, but our Indian education system is very good, imparting the good knowledge in education in English only. So all the universities are having the modern education in English only. So they should stick to this, and they should rather take an English test before they invite to the students, because our competition is going to have with the English speaking countries, those countries which are far front in the education. So first thing is the cultural aspects, second thing is the language, and third thing is going to be the common framework which is being followed globally in imparting the education, that is the Bloom taxonomy. No doubt our accreditation systems are very strong, like NAC, NIRF, and so many other accreditation agencies which are grading our system as per the same standard which is being given by ABET kind of accreditation by USA and so many other top accrediting agencies. So we have to keep our yardstick benchmark to that level, that our accreditation system should be as par to the various other accreditation agencies of the globe. And we as a university environment should follow that. We should not try to dilute those accreditation parameters, rather than we should work for the improvement of that. Then only we can host the foreign students. Because at the end of the day, we have to say that our course curriculum is the global standard, our delivery practices is the global standard, our mode of education is English, which is also at a global standard. So these three things will help our education system to make it globalized in a real sense. No doubt I can give a talk and discussion for days on these aspects, looking my international experience, and I can also give a talk on the country-specific problems and solutions. But given a time frame, this much thing I would like to say. Thank you for this question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful.